Hey, it's Michael James. Welcome back to the Tactical Den podcast. In this video, I want to talk about the Hydra mount and its implications at shooting at distance, right? So, full disclaimer, I haven't really shot the Hydra mount past 200 yards. It's not meant to do that. That's not why it was designed. It's meant for CQB. But I was shooting at some distance today around 100, 150 yards. And I kind of just wanted to give my experiences with shooting the Hydra mount at that distance. So the Hydra mount, the riser that we've all come to know and love, sitting at that 2.9 inches elevation, and also the PEC 15 attached to it to allow more center of gravity on the actual firearm itself. Much more comfortable to use. The PEC 15 sits out of the way. It's a really nice setup if you do a lot of CQB, but that's just it. It's meant for CQB. It's not meant to be pushing past 100 yards. So when you are shooting past 100 yards, I wanted to see even what the shots looked like at 100 and what they look like past. As I said, I haven't really shot past 150. The ranges that I've gone to don't allow me to do so, but I work with what I have, and I'll give you guys as much information that I can gather based off of the range distance that I have and based off of my experiences shooting the firearm with that optic set on it. So, like I said, I brought it out to the range, shot probably about 30 rounds down range at 100 yards, just to kind of see where I was hitting. So we all know that the Hydra mount is meant for those really close quarters, like 25 meters and in, and then 100 meters if you're trying to push the distance with it. So it's no surprise that when you're shooting at 100 with the Hydra mount, that your ballistics are going to be a lot more different than they would be if you're using a co-witness red dot. So I actually have both the co-witness red dot grouping, and I have the Hydra mount grouping. My work rifle that I use, the M4A1, I have an Aimpoint M68 on there that I use, and that's the co-witness red dot right there, and that's perfect for shooting at 100 yards. You can see the grouping that I have there, and where my point of aim was and where my point of impact is. That's your typical distance, about 6 inches or so around that. The Hydra mount practically doubles that when you're shooting at distance, if not more. You can see the video that I'll put up here in a couple seconds that I'm aiming around the groin area and I'm hitting up towards the chest. And that is when I'll actually be getting those lethal hits. So you can actually watch the video of me doing that. So for that 100 yards, I aimed just below the center line, and I was hitting up here on the shoulders. So this time I'm going to aim below, around the groin area, and we'll see if I can get some better shots that way. So we'll see how this goes. Those fast shots, let's go take a look. Okay, so this one was much better. So I was aiming here, like right around here. Come up, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm hitting here. So that's not the greatest grouping, but it's really windy out. I'm cold, so I'll take it. This is the grouping I had beforehand. So I had a good spread here and I threw one. Same thing here, a good spread here and I threw one. So you can see I'm a little bit left, but as I said, it's fucking windy out, so it doesn't surprise me. This is my shots at 25, my grouping at 25, so I have good hits there. But the Hydra mount, I mean, I'm aiming here, and I'm hitting here.
So that's 25-0 on the Hydra mount. That's where you're going to be hitting at 100 yards. So keep that in mind.
So long story short, you're still looking at knowing your holds, knowing how to engage a target at distance, but you're just going to be doing it with a Hydra mount. Nothing really changes. Just know that it's not the same as your co-witness red dot of that 6 to 5 inches of rise at 100 meters. So you're actually looking at, like I said, almost double that. And the video showed, you can see where I was aiming, you can see where I was hitting. If I was aiming around the stomach, I would be hitting up by the shoulders. It's not the same when it comes to 100 yards with a co-witness red dot. I would be aiming center mass, and I would be hitting up by the shoulders. So, like I said, it almost doubles. So know that when you're going to be shooting at distance, make sure that you know your holds. Make sure that you can incorporate that inside of your range time. Incorporate that inside of whatever you're using your Hydra mount for. Just know the holds. Practice the holds. If you think you're going to be engaging someone past 100 meters, make sure your rifle is capable of that. Make sure you are capable of that. So just know your weapon, know you, and know your setup. But that's pretty much what I got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, we're one nation. Hold the line, boys.